Hello everyone, and welcome back to Graveyard Keeper. We're gonna swiftly finish off this here set of flitches. There we are. And that'll give us another red point. That's what we're after at the moment. And we'll drop off this stuff. We've got another burial certificate we can pass on. For now, I think we're gonna go harvest raw materials. We're gonna need a lot of everything, so we just as well smash up some rocks for the minute, because we want to build that forge as soon as we can. The other thing we're going to need is, if we can just break this real quick, there we are, we're going to need, well, all of these, to be honest. We're literally going to need all of them. The first thing we're going to need, though, is probably this one. We're going to need these three as, like, some of the core sort of workplaces where we need access to progress. So, we're going to need 20 of these rocks as well to build our forge, or furnace. So, since this gives us red tech, we just as well get that out of the way now. Smashy smashy. This guy is fit as a fiddle. So that's 6. It doesn't really matter. To be honest, I'm mainly just after the tech. We're going to use these rocks for something or other eventually. So we just as well get it done now. I'm not going to spend ages smashing rocks, just going to clear these because, as I said, we need the red points. So, there we are. How many red points have we got? We've got 14, and we got 14 green as well. Okay. Finish this one off if we can. We can't. I don't have any berries. I left them all at home. Okay, we'll go grab our berry stash. They're very good. You know what? Forget I said that. That's terrible. No. That's absolutely diabolically bad. Hang on. Just have a quick snack-a-doodle right there. There we go. Good stuff. Berries. They give me the energy to smash rocks with a rusty pickaxe. Brilliant. This guy's very strong. Really does leave me in awe. What was his job before getting hit by a car? Or are we in the body of the Graveyard Keeper? A Graveyard Keeper would be particularly strong, one imagines, after all the dirt he's had to dig out of the ground. Can only imagine. Yeah, I'll go pop a berry to give us the energy to collect the next bush. And we'll continue like that. We've got an awful lot of berries now. I think he's increased the number of berries you get out of the bushes, which is nice. These are all the beehives. Yes, you can in fact cultivate a bee farm. Cultivate? Yeah, you can farm bees. Alright, like, you can see there's some in that tree there and some in that tree there. So it's just another thing that you can do. It's quite crazy. If I remember rightly, you get a lot of green points for clearing these, right? Maybe not those ones particularly, but there's some. I think it's the ones with leaves. The graveyard was covered in them. These ones right here, but I'm not sure if we can reach those because they're in this ruin. Oh no, we can. Alright, so we'll dig these up. It's going to take us a fair amount of energy. We must eat many handfuls of berries to finish that off, but if I remember rightly, yeah, we've got a whole heap of green points for those, so it's worth the berry investment. Oh, perhaps not. Perhaps we should go back to sleep, I guess, because we're going to need to prepare a new corpse for burial. It's worth noting, I explained the effects of the blood and fat extractions last time, how they improve the body for burial. Removing flesh from them degrades the corpse, making the grave even worse, which is generally something you don't want to do. So I've gotten in the habit of, you know, if a body has a certain number of red skulls to begin with, I'll probably just extract everything I can and then toss them in the river, because you can dig up bodies once you've buried them, but only with an exhumation permission, which costs money. More money than you get for burying one, mind you. And even then, you can't do that all the time. Like, eventually, it won't let you. After a certain amount of time, you can't dig them up again. And so, that stands to reason that you've only got a certain amount of space. You have a fair amount of space, so even if you muck it up, like I did, and my first half of the graveyard was diabolical. I didn't actually unlock the church for a long time because of it. But yeah, you can expand the graveyard to get this whole half. You can't. Oh, sorry, I'm walking into a pole. You can unlock all this as well by by making friends with the Inquisitor and then talking to him. He'll give you permission to use it, because apparently this half is cursed. I haven't noticed any cursey happenings going on, but I guess he knows better than I, the wrathful man that he is. Yes, so how's our graveyard looking? We've gained another point, right? We're at -5. We only need 10 more points and we can become... Oh, there he is, right on time. Hello, Escopric. Episcop? I don't know why I call him all these things. Let's just dig these up. We've got enough points for a new tech now. So let's see, what do we want first? Probably woodworking. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to unlock all of them before we get too much further. So let's just go ahead smashing some more rocks, I guess. We need them to build a forge anyways. I think we might be coming close to having enough now. But again, we also need the red points, so there really isn't much you can do to waste time in this aside from doing nothing. No matter what you do, you oh, bad timing. I was one smack away from breaking that rock. Oh well, we shall trundle our way back. This is one of the main incentives, as well as saving energy to making better tools, is because boy oh boy if it doesn't break quick. These ones break very, very fast. There we are. So we've gained our pickaxe back in terrible condition. Let's tidy up our yard a little. Oh, hang on. Let's scarf some berries. It's a bit too early in the day for sleeping, so we'll scarf some berries and we'll dig up this weed. There we are. And that brings us up to a nice 21. So we'll use that to unlock the woodworking bench. And there we go. So we'll build that next, because we are going to need it. Workbench for wood. We've got everything we need. So we'll pop that in here. There we are. We'll leave a little gap because you can't fill anything perfectly, and I think that's by design. He's left it so that most places, if you combine like the typical workbenches and stuff, it'll have a gap of 1 between them, like you'll notice with the graves as well. Even though you can only put graves in that location, they don't gel together well, and I think that's deliberately so that you leave space. Yeah, we don't have the energy. We'll, in fact, just head. Nice early night. We'll probably have a corpse soon. You tend to get one around dusk, so we'll head back to sleep for now. And any minute now, the bell will probably ring. Perhaps not. Some nights you don't get one. Some nights you get it in the middle of the night. Some days you get it in the middle of the day. It's really random, but you often get one near dusk. Too often for me to say it's completely random. There we are. So we're up nice and early. We'll finish our workbench. And here's where we'll refine flitches into planks. Planks you can never have too many of, let me tell you. So we'll spend some energy doing this. This will give us some points. Everything gives you points. That's going to go ahead and give us 1 red point per plank. Annoyingly, you can't queue up multiple at a time, but it's not a major issue. You know, it doesn't take you long. It's literally you press E and then a left click, and then you hold F. Press E, left click, hold F. Left click, hold F, and that's that done. So we can now unlock. Do we not have 10? Yeah, we do. Okay, just needed to update. Alright, so there we are. We can now build a chopping spot. Just want to get all these out the way so that we can get stuff going. We're going to need 5 wooden billets, for which we're going to need more logs. So, we're going to need at least 2 logs. We can only chop down the smaller trees. For all our skills, we are not a skilled woodsman just yet. Can't chop down these mighty ones right there. We can only have these little itty bitty ones. Conveniently, that gives us 2. Thank you. Apparently, the log can pass right through that, but we can't. We are not incorporeal, so this might not be a dream. Or maybe it is. As I said, we don't know. So, wood billet. And I genuinely don't know. I don't think you can get to the end of the story in the current iteration of the game. We get 3 per... Oh, we are 1. Oh, see that blasted rock we didn't break earlier cost us our forge. Oh well, I guess I'll have to break one of the myriad of other rocks around. I never feel like, in theory, I think certain things are actually finite. We may as well just finish off these berries, why not? In theory, I think many things in this game are finite, but like, you're just never gonna run out because there's just so many. What do we need this for again? Ah yes, the chopping spot, right, so let's... Well, we can't pop that in there, we can put it there. But can we then get past there? So the chance I don't really want to take. So we'll go ahead and put it there instead. There we are. And understandably, the chopping spot, being just a bundle of like bits of wood, does not require assembly. So we don't really have enough energy and we don't have anything we can use. We might as well go for an early nap right now. It's not very efficient. But there's not much else we can do in the meantime, so... Yeah, oh, I know what we can do. Every time you sleep, by the way, when you wake up, it saves the game. So that's how you save. It's not an automatic... It is an automatic process, but you can't manually save when you're out and about. So bear that in mind, especially with it being an alpha. It does sometimes crash. Rare enough for me to not really be mad about it, though. Like, a lot of early access games crash a lot more. This one's quite stable. Smack. There we are. Job done. And that's another red thing. And that's spent a little more time getting us just a touch closer to night. Maybe we'll go back. We might have the energy to smash up another one. We can harvest flowers, by the way. Flowers, you can eat flowers for some reason. And they give you a little energy. I think it costs 2 energy. Not a lot, mind you. It costs 2 energy to pick them, and they give you 3 back. So it's really not a major deal, but it's something you can do. Right? I mean, I don't think it gives you tech points. We may as well just throw that in there, and then we'll head to bed. Alright, so next up, we've got the basics down. We're going to need to build that forge next. We can make planks and things. Maybe we'll do a little more work on the graveyard today. I guess it depends on when we get our next corpse. So that's that. So what's our next tech? We're going to want stoneworking. We need 15 red for that. So we'll undoubtedly come across that as we... Oh wow, it's absolutely tipping down. We're undoubtedly going to come across 15 points as we progress. For example, we get 1 every time we refine a plank. And yeah, you get plenty of these, don't you worry. You get red points for pretty much everything you do. Alright, we've run out of flitches, so we shall chop another. We're going to have to cut another tree. And I think you're starting to get the picture. Oh, we can't fit through there. Yeah, you're probably starting to get the picture by now. But so far, we haven't even touched on anything, really. We are just getting started. Really, we are just getting started. Oh, I didn't mean to put... Ah, we'll leave that there. It's not that far. We'll just go and pop that in there, and then we'll head back and get the other. Can we pick it up through here? Not quite. I guess we'll go around. It's not that big a deal. There we are. We're leaving muddy tracks everywhere. This guy's house must be an absolute tip. Luckily for him, though, we don't track mud through, which is nice, because goodness knows that would be an absolute chore to clean. Can you imagine these tracks I'm leaving across the yard? Can you imagine leaving those all over the floor? Yikes. No thank you. And that's another red point. Do we have enough for stoneworking? We need 15. You betcha. We'll get that right now. 1, 2, 3, and that's 4, giving us the nice round 15 we need for stoneworking. It'll tell us we can't, because you need to close and update the menu, and there it is. 15 stoneworking. Over here we can get stone carving, and it just goes on, but you need the better points for that, which come a little later. Hopefully not as late for you in this playthrough as it did for me when I was playing. Whew, it took me quite some time to get those points. Right, so there. You can, by the way, if we go here, notice how I don't have any sticks in my inventory, but it'll let me build it anyway. That's because it does actually access the zone's resources. So anything I leave in this chest here, for example, and any other chests I build, it does access those, which is just lovely. So we're going to need flitches and simple iron parts. So we're going to need to chop another one. Will we have the energy? Maybe. It's certainly a slow process. Oh, it's going to be close. We've got it. Nice. So we'll go ahead and pop these in there now. There we go. So we've got 2 simple iron parts. We're going to need, for our furnace, 8. So we'll have to buy those from the blacksmith. So why don't we do that now? we've got, I think, two burial certificates. So since we can't do much more work without going to bed, and it's approaching night anyway, we just as well go for a short walk to the village. We'll trade on our burial certificates. We'll buy a beer for Jerry, and we'll buy some metal parts. I think we need 6. So whether we'll have enough money for that remains to be seen. I should have bought those metal parts instead of nails earlier. Oh well, not a major deal. So it's just, as I recall, just a short walk through here, and we head down. The trader is here, right there. A lovely fellow. We'll talk to him another time because we'll be asked to speak with him about something later on. So we'll talk to him then rather than wasting time now. That reminds me, I didn't get any money by trading in my burial certificates. Pardon me, I am absolutely scatterbrained. Don't you know, it's a lot of energy to talk gibberish whilst wandering around a village. So, there, we'll go in here. Haradric wants a word with us after delivering that letter. There we are. Oh, he's going to give us a beer for free. How convenient. So, now we'll trade in our certificates. 3 silver pieces. Notice how that's subtracted from his money here and decreased his progress towards the next tier of vendor. He unlocks that tier once he's earned a certain amount of money, and obviously selling things like burial certificates to him costs him money and thus slows down his progress. So just something to bear in mind. Eventually he'll level up regardless. So just do your thing, really. You don't need to worry too much about that. So we need 6 of these. We can't afford it, not even close. You know what I'm going to do? We won't be doing much fighting. I'm going to sell him this rusty sword he so generously gave us for some of these. And that'll give us the money we need to buy those metal parts. And there we are. A successful venture. We traded in our own weapon. If we get burgled, we are done for. But that seems unlikely. Why would someone burgle a graveyard keeper of all people, and one that is so poor he had to sell his rusty sword? Not exactly a tantalizing target for any burgeoning burglar, is it? In any case, shouldn't be too long. It's night now, so we'll head back and we'll go to bed, and then we'll have the energy to construct our forge in the morning. I think you can go to bed around midnight and still wake up in the morning. And in fact, midnight is probably the best time because you earn more energy because it's the dead of night. So it's the most productive time to sleep, one imagines. Your footprints do disappear after a while. There we are. So, yes, so you can see exactly how much energy we're earning. It goes way up to 6. It can get quite high. I think it goes up the longer you're asleep as well, but notice how it drops there because we're approaching dawn. But we managed to get ourselves topped off just in time for the sun to come up, and we can now build our furnace. We're going to tuck that away down here somewhere. There we are. And our first act of the day is to assemble our furnace. Just smack it with a hammer, this bundle of stuff. Alright, so now that that's done with, we next need, I think, one more thing. That being the stone cutter, which, you see, I bought those nails earlier, and thus we can afford it. We'll tuck it in right there. Do we want to put it there? No, we don't want to put it over there. Sure, we'll put it right there. Yeah, we'll leave it right there. That's nice, that's fine. Yeah, we can't expand our yard, but I'm hoping, like, in my playthrough, everything was so clustered together in such a haphazard way that I had to, once I expanded my yard out, because you can expand it to encompass all this area, and it clears the bog and all that. Once I did that, I had to tear down and rearrange a lot of stuff. So we can chop up this big hunk of iron ore into little bits. We can chop up big pieces of stone. We can't really do much else here because we haven't unlocked it yet, but what we're looking for is this right here. So that'll allow us to build better gravestones with which to improve our graveyard. So is that what we want to work on now? We probably want to work towards forging now, because we're going to need plenty of these, and it's much cheaper to make them ourselves. We also are going to want this so we can mine coal, because it's very, very energy inefficient to use firewood instead. So how many points do we have? We have 1 red point. We're going to need a lot more, so let's get working. Let's dig this up right here, just because it's right there and it gives us some sticks and so on. Sticks not that useful. I mainly use them as a fuel source for cooking. You can't fuel a forge with sticks because that would take a lot of sticks. Wow, can you imagine? Alright, let's go and give Jerry his beer. Compliments of Heradric. Here's your beer, pal. What is mine? You need something strong. Of course you do, Jerry. You alcoholic skull. Stop running around bragging you're from another world. I don't remember too clearly, but it was for doing something similar that I lost my body. I want to keep yours, just stop. You know, you are probably right, Jerry. So, I have some questions. How can I get home? Easy. I'm sure you can use the portal on which hill? I see. Yeah, it doesn't know. Yeah, okay, so he's told us all he can remember, but he suggests the library, and the church has a library in its cellar. Or maybe the astrologer knows. He's a smart boy. Alright, so we'll ask him about the astrologer. His wine was the best. He was a big friend of the lighthouse keeper, so he hangs out at the lighthouse on Sloth. Yes, there you go. How do we get the library? Through the church. The wine cellar might be checked. To the church cellar. Yeah, it's all connected. The morgue, your house, and the church, they're all interconnected through these tunnels. But you need to clear these blockages. So, yeah, he's just talking about fishing. Yeah, why not? You chat, Jerry. I'm off. You want some wine next? We know where the lighthouse is. It's way off to the east. So, to clear out the path, we need wooden wedges, wooden beams, and simple iron parts, right? So, the iron parts and the wedges, not such a big deal. I don't know what's up with the graphics here. This was not like this before. Perhaps we broke it in the recent patch. Interesting. It's very unfortunate, though. Or it might be because I'm recording. Those are the only two things I haven't played on the most recent patch, because I figure, hey, I'm going to reinstall in the latest patch. I might as well start from scratch and see if it fixes a couple of the bugs I had. So, here we are. So I'm not really sure if it is because of the patch or because of the recording or whatever, but something has broken this. I have a feeling we're going to get a corpse delivered soon, so let me go ahead and conserve my energy and we'll head on over now, see if my graveyard keeper sixth sense is tingling correctly. Let's see. Oh, donkey. Where is he? Is he on his way? Doesn't look like it. I was incorrect. Ah, shame. Shame, 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 shame. But we can clear these here vines for some easy green points. There we are. There we go. Heaps. We've got 20 green points now. 21 green points. We'll harvest these berries while they're here. And that'll give us some more points, I believe. Yep, there we go. We're doing great for green points. Next, we shall head home and we'll take a quick nap while it's dark. And hopefully we'll have a corpse delivered through the night. Well, hopefully for us, not necessarily for the poor unfortunate who owned that body. But, oh well, you know, sometimes you just gotta roll the punches and accept the fact that now I've gotta chop you up and chuck you in a hole in the ground, right? That's how it goes. Shame. Alright, let's dig up this pesky bush, dead bush, whatever. There we go. I'll give us another red point. I may use some time now. Oh, we haven't unlocked that yet. Okay, my bad. There's going to be a lot of that because I've played for a long time on my earlier save. Ah, that's what we can do. We'll harvest some trees because we're going to need logs and lots of them. That'll give us some red points as well. We're probably going to break our axe very soon because these rusty tools are just diabolical. Maybe we'll dig this up as well. Sometimes it gives you another log, sometimes it doesn't. Just like that. Smash this right. You see how just everything works towards the essential goal, and even if you don't know what you need them for at the minute, you don't waste these. You know, they sit there until you use them, so you can potentially go a long time not knowing what they do, and then one day you're like, oh, and then notice you have like 300 to spend, and you're very happy. because now you don't have to grind for them because you know what to do with them and you've saved them up all this time whether you wanted to or not. Alright, let's run this one back with us. There we are. Much easier to run them vertically than horizontally. There we are. Run that down there, and we'll pop this one in, and we'll pop that one in. What do we want to do? Do we want to spend time chopping these flitches? I think so. We'll do that. We'll fulfill our quests as we go. It's just there's a few things you need to get done as soon as possible. Improved tools being one of them. Because, oh boy, do they help. They help a lot. A lot, right? Is that what we need for mining? It is. Alright, cool. So we can actually get started now, Will. Go ahead and throw this in there. We'll keep our berries on us because we're going to need them. I'm just going to scarf them down now. And we're going to go for a venture. Now, this place took me a long time to find as well, as a matter of fact. And this is the only place that I can think of that you can harvest coal. There's a few places to harvest iron, but those iron deposits, once you mine them, they're gone forever. This is also the only permanent source of iron that I've found anyway, and I'm pretty sure it's the only one on the map. Pick these up on the way. Again, just because it gives us another green point, right? You might as well. So, this terrain feels like it's been changed. I don't recognize this place. Have I just gone the wrong way? I may have. Oh, I tell you what it is. It's because I'm being silly, alright? The way across is to fix the bridge. Which I neglected to do. So let's check what we need to fix the bridge. So the way across here is the marsh as well as the coal deposits. And we're just going to need a plank, 8 flitches and 12 nails. So we can't do that right now. But it's not in an insurmountable sort of way away. You know, it's only a few nails and a few flitches and a plank. Most of which we have already. We've got those flitches, we've got that plank, we just need the nails. And nails, we can't make them until we get coal. We could use firewood, I guess. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. We've got not much else going on, so let's make some firewood. If we can. It's a very labor-intensive job. Oh boy, yeah, that is one of the biggest improvements that the next tier of axe will give you. Is when you're chopping firewood, it gets a lot easier with an upgraded axe, as one would imagine. I'm going to go ahead and preemptively sharpen our shovel, because we're going to need it when the next corpse is delivered, which might be any time now. So let's go to bed real quick. Let's see if the bell's going to ring. No. So what is this, our 3rd day in a row with no body delivered? Wow. Time's good up in the town recently. Very nice. Very good news for the unfortunates. So, that's that. We're going to go ahead and see how much firewood we're going to need. 10 for 50 fuel. So we're going to need to chop at least one more billet. And for that, we're going to need to chop up another log. Oh, it stacks up on you. But boy, does it go faster and faster over time. So, that's done. Now we'll chop up some firewood. And we're already halfway through our energy. Oh, trust me, you'll know as soon as we get those new tools, we'll be able to get like twice as much done in a day. So we'll throw that firewood in there. Now we need to get some ore, which just so happens we have plenty of just up here. There's some right here. We'll just smash this up real quick. This is going to be slow, but it's not the most labor intensive, but it's still pretty slow. That's going to give us 2. Hey, I figured it would give us more than that. Maybe it's random. It's probably random. Because I remember getting like upwards of 10 from one of these. That gave us 3. Well, we don't have the energy for another. Oh, slimes out of nowhere. Perhaps slimes always spawn at dawn. Hadn't considered that. In any case, we can now forge iron. We'll just pop one of those in. It's going to take us, I think, 3 minutes with this base level forge. We'll throw the stuff in there because we're not going to need that. Hopefully we get a body delivered soon so we can earn another paycheck. We're going to need it to buy all the nails and things we're going to need. Actually, we can just forge our own. Never mind. We'll make an anvil if we've unlocked an anvil. Do we need to do something else to unlock the anvil? I don't think so. I think we just... Oh wait, that'll be in here, won't it? Yes. So we're going to need the wooden anvil. We're just going to do 10 red. That's trivial. We can do that, no trouble. No problem at all. Let's go smash some more rocks, because we're going to need these to... now that we built the forge... Excuse me. I guess this one's in the way. We're going to need these stones to craft gravestones, which it's much nicer to make them out of stone than wood. Because the wooden ones take 2 planks and a nail. Whereas the stone one just takes 2 pieces of stone, which is, you know, much easier to come across than having to forge your own nails and stuff. It's just easier to make them out of rocks. In any case, thank you all very much for joining me for this next episode. Next time, let's see, what have we got going on? Next time we'll see if we can talk to the astrologer. We'll see about forging our own nails and things in preparation for improving the graveyard at last, and then we'll become the cleric, the prior of the local church. Yeah, so thank you all very much for joining me, and I do hope to see you next time.